Hello everyone, my name is Christian, welcome to my hobby blog. So today we're going to talk about another Vinegar Syndrome partner label. I've been kind of focusing on those. I don't have many left. I have maybe one more partner label left, but this one is of course the not so recent film from 2018 that Vinegar Syndrome put out along with Dust, Gunpowder and Sky company. It's kind of a newer partner label, but this one is the movie Prospect, starring Sophie Thatcher and Pedro Pascal. So first of all, I love the packaging for this. It's very steady. I love the coloring. I love how it slips out and shows just the slipcover version of the movie, which then pops out here. It shows that. I don't know if they have alternate art. They do. And I like the look of it, so I'm gonna flip that around and kind of show it. But there we go. Okay, so this is what the alternate art looks like. I didn't even think about flipping it until just now, so apologies for that. But I think there should be a warning for everyone who is expecting a fun action sci-fi movie, because that's definitely what it is advertised as. In reality, it's very atmospheric, very slow. It's a pretty tropey sci-fi story. It's about a father and daughter who do a final stop on one of the alien planets that are in this universe of the movie, and they are looking for a stash of some really expensive, highly valuable mineral. And so they have the moment where they see the material and they're like, hey, this is nothing compared to what we're about to do. The daughter's like, we gotta get back to the ship. We gotta leave the main ship because they're in a pod. The main ship is gonna leave soon, so they gotta hurry up. And so the father's like, no, I wanna go do this. So they're on the way to this big stash of mineral, I guess, veins. And before they get there, they run into Pedro Pascal and a partner that is hinted at as a robot, and the father of the girl and the robot shoot each other and kill each other. And so it's just the daughter and Pedro Pascal. And they have to make like a truce, I guess, in order to survive. And the movie goes on from there. It is very slow, very atmospheric. The music is pretty great in terms of relaxation and just kind of narrowing, or just really narrowing down the like otherworldly feel. And the entire movie is them walking through a forest that looks exactly like Annihilation, that starred whatever her name is, Natalie Portman, and the other scientists that were exploring kind of the alien planet. I think I really like this movie. This was one that I really enjoyed watching. This is the 4K edition, and I don't have a 4K player, but I watched it on Blu-ray, and it looked phenomenal. I'm sure on 4K it looks even more insane, but this is definitely a slow burn movie. Things get not crazy, but things ramp up at the end, and then it just kind of ends. The pacing, I wouldn't say is an issue. It's more just very slow, and then the end happens and the movie ends. It's very much like a Dario Argento movie, where it's slow, it's slowly building. We have the giant thing, okay, bye, credits roll. And I was reading a couple reviews on Letterboxd about this movie, during one of the slower parts, and I was just kind of like, okay, let's see what people say. And everyone kind of talked shit about the pacing of the movie, and that they were. I mean, there's a quote on this release that says, "This is what the standalone Star Wars movies should feel like." Someone says right here on the back. You can see it in white. It's at the top. So I'm not making it up when I say that I think this was mismarketed. This is a slow burn movie. It's about these two, Pedro Pascal and Sophie Thatcher, getting to know each other and learning empathy and helping each other out to survive. Both of these leads act very well. Pedro Pascal, there's no introduction to him. He played probably one of my favorite characters in the Game of Thrones TV show, Oberyn Martell. The Red Viper, I believe his nickname was called. But he is amazing in this movie. I mean, he's a great actor. Sophie Thatcher, I looked her up because I was kind of like, I've never even heard of her. I mistook her for someone else, like from Carnival Row, the main female lead in that. And I looked her up, and she's in like 2 other movies, both indie films. And so I think this is her first major acting role, and she was great. I really enjoyed her role in this. She has a range of emotions. She isn't just helpless kid the entire time. She's like 16, 17, so she's not like, a tween or anything like that, but she's very capable. She's a great character, great contrast to our cowboy, criminal that is Pedro Pascal. And so, yeah, I really like this movie. It's really weird when I find these movies in like a Vinegar Syndrome or Vinegar Syndrome partner label, because I'm like, this is not at all like them. This is a really great just movie. And all the visuals are really amazing on the planet. So you get that arrival or the annihilation with all the little specks floating in the air, and nobody treats it as like, wow, alien planet. They're just like going through it like it's nothing. And we get some hints towards a past where everyone was just completely stripping this planet of its natural resources. That's why the resource they are hunting down is like really valuable, because everyone just stripped the entire earth of it. And so it's really interesting. It's very low budget from what I've heard and the research that I did, and yet it looks really good. So this gets an A+ in that regard. But I think that's all I have to say about this movie. It's really well done. I'm sure the 4K just looks absolutely insane. I love the packaging. I am very fortunate that I was able to get a copy, because if more people had known about this movie and watched it, this would have sold out so fast. And it is a shock to me that not more people like this movie. This is just a phenomenal sci-fi movie. It's so grounded in reality. We don't have goofy aliens running around. We have aliens, but they're not what you would think in terms of an alien being in a movie. They're not, Star Wars. I don't really like that quote is on this box. But I'm happy that the movie is able to stand up on its own and just be really, really good. So that is Prospect. I keep covering the name. That is Prospect. Released in 2018. I believe it was on Netflix first, so if you're hesitant, go watch it on there, see if it's your cup of tea. But I don't know how long this super steady release is going to hold on, because I think the more people who watch it, the more likely it will be that you're going to just get the plastic case. And I think this really helps in giving that sci-fi look. It looks like a pretty steady box from like a sci-fi movie where they bring out, water or something. It looks very utilitarian. So, yeah, that's Prospect. Let me know what you guys saw of this movie. You haven't seen it, or if you have seen it, and if you haven't seen it, are there any other questions or comments that you have in order to, enjoy this movie even more than if you were to go in completely blind? Let me know. Thank you all for